We have seen able-bodied athletes break several sporting records, but do you know that there are unusual people that would blow your mind away with their skills? Despite having various hindrances that would typically stop them from competing in professional sports, these athletes have continued to wow us. So, here are our top 10 picks of the most unusual people to play professional sports. Number 1 is mind-blowing, so stick around for it. Before we dive into this list, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you would like to join this month's Star 5 giveaway of a brand new iPhone 12, then all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment the hidden message. Good luck! Number 10. Kanya Sesser. Kanya Sesser is one living proof that if you want it bad enough, you can get it. Born without legs and abandoned by her parents, Kanya didn't allow this to stand in the way of her pursuing her passion. The Thai-born star doesn't use a wheelchair but a skateboard, while also walking around with her hands. She is incredibly talented at modeling, acting, and skateboarding. Today she is a professional skateboarder and surfer, while also modeling for sportswear and lingerie on the side. Although there are definitely situations that she would have been limited because she has no legs, Kanya has never let this bring her down. Her arms are incredibly strong, and she believes that her current lifestyle is responsible for the person she is today. So far, Kanya has won several first-place medals at the Paralympics and Junior Olympics, where she took part in track and field events. Number 9. Nick Santonastaso. Nick is one athlete that came around to change the numerous stereotypes we've seen about wrestling. Born with hand-heart syndrome, this athlete has shown that it's all about the strength of spirit and not the body. This rare condition stopped him from developing like every other person. So Nick has no legs and only one arm, which is also underdeveloped. However, rather than choose the path of self-pity, the young man put in more work than any other athlete and went on to become a professional skater. Every day he does more training than he did the previous day. After a while, he joined the college wrestling team, but had to accept an amputation of a few centimeters from his arm for safety reasons. Today, Nick runs his business and is seriously into inspiring hundreds of thousands of people with bodybuilding. Number 8. Sarah Reinertsen. This athlete is definitely an inspiration to millions of amputees around the world. Sarah is a one-legged triathlete who first became famous on the popular television show The Amazing Race. In its 10th season, Sarah climbed the Great Wall of China and even passed a huge cliff in Vietnam. That's definitely an amazing feat for someone with one leg. She is also the first female amputee to win an Ironman and didn't mind sharing her story with the world in her book. It talks about how she was born with proximal focal deficiency, a non-hereditary birth defect that had her growing up as an amputee since the age of 7. When she realized at 11 years old that she could take part in relays, nothing could separate the young lady from the track. By the time she was 16, she was already competing at Paralympic events and spends a lot of time swimming, running, and biking. Number 7. Blake Leeper. Despite being born without his lower legs, Blake has become a successful athlete. This is all thanks to his father, who decided that his son shouldn't miss out on living a life as normal as possible for a kid born without legs. So when Blake was just 9 months old, his father got him special prosthetics that helped him learn how to walk and run. Before long, the boy was actively involved in playing basketball and football alongside his classmates. Blake then became super interested in athletics and was inspired by 6-time Paralympic champion Oscar Pistorius on his screen in 2008. With the level of determination and passion he had, it wasn't surprising that he beat his idol's Paralympic record in 2017. Number 6. Tatiana McFadden. Tatiana McFadden is one incredibly strong lady, and it's not just about rippling muscles that have sent her through more than 15 Paralympic medals and even more World Championship medals. Born in St. Petersburg, Russia, with spina bifida, Tatiana suffered partial paralysis as a result of this congenital disability. However, that didn't stop her from having multiple first-place finishes at marathons. Her birth mother was unable to care for her and had Tatiana placed in an orphanage identified with the number 13. Today, Tatiana sees that number as her lucky number and was at the orphanage until she was 6 years old. From that moment, she attended a local sports program every weekend with her parents, and that inspired her to play sports. When she qualified for the Paralympics at 15, she became the youngest person to do so and got both silver and bronze medals for her efforts. Since then, she's been at several other sporting events and won more medals. She's definitely leaving a legacy that will inspire others like her to have better opportunities. Number 5. Daisy Mae Demeter. Every picture of Daisy shines through with a lot of energy and optimism, and that's really impressive for a young lady who started out life a little tough. At almost 2 years old, Daisy lost her legs to a congenital defect and had to get prosthetics eventually. However, she doesn't let this stop her from being full of life and quickly fell in love with gymnastics. She spends a huge part of her day training with gymnastic rings and works out at the gym several times a week. Daisy's father also got her connected to a modeling agency, and this kickstarted her successful modeling career. So far, she has worked with River Island and featured at children's shows at the London Fashion Week. Number 4. Lee Pearson. Despite having 14 major operations and scar tissue in his limbs with plastic splints from his hip to heel, Lee's achieved the amazing feat of riding horses at sporting events. Born with arthrogryposis multiplex congenital, Lee moved past this and is one of the most successful athletes in British history. He has about a dozen Paralympic gold medals to his name alongside world titles. When it came out to his parents in his 20s, Lee became one of the highest profile gay athletes in the UK. At his Paralympic debut at the Sydney 2000 Games, Lee won all 3 gold medals for his competitions and repeated this feat 4 years later in Athens. According to Lee, his motivation is paying his mortgage, and that's a struggle a lot of us can relate with. Number 3. Laurie Stevens. Born with spina bifida, Laurie Stevens is another unusual professional sports player that keeps breaking barriers. She started skiing at the young age of 12 and then dived into the world of racing 3 years later when she joined Chris Devlin-Young's New England disabled ski team. Laurie made her debut as a Paralympian in 2006 and then took part in the 2010, 2014, and 2018 Games. The amazing woman was also named the Paralympic Sportswoman of the Year in 2006. How's that for a debut? But Laurie didn't stop with just skiing. She competed for the United States in the Paralympic swimming event where she broke records for the 100-meter backstroke and 200-meter backstroke. Number 2. Jerome Elbricht. Jerome is another example of a person who didn't allow tragedy to defeat him. As a man who's always been in love with sports, his life changed drastically in 1999 when he got into a fatal accident. It was so terrible that he broke his back and became paralyzed below the waist. However, Jerome decided he would rather go into extreme sports and put his boundless energy to good use. First, he started with some freestyle skiing and then went on to become a professional at the sport. Not too long after, Jerome discovered wakeboarding, which combines skiing, jumping, acrobatics, and other difficult elements. It's definitely awesome to watch him do these tricks. Number 1. Bethany Hamilton. When Bethany Hamilton was 13 years old, she was enjoying the ocean when she unfortunately came in contact with a 15-foot tiger shark. The shark took her left arm, and her life was never the same again. Interestingly, she became a star to many when she returned to competitive surfing just a few months after this incident. When Bethany lost her arm, she was happy to be alive, and this encouraged her to have a better outlook on life. This set the tone for the rest of her family, with her parents and brothers encouraging her to get into the water just a few weeks after the shark attack. Even better, her father made a special handle for her surfboard, which helps her duck dive under oncoming waves. We are definitely inspired by this woman who didn't let a single incident define her and has remained in the public eye ever since. And with that, we end today's video. Which unusual person inspired you the most? Are there any other unusual people playing professional sports that you think deserve a spot on our list? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video from Star 5. Thanks for watching.